What's up? What's happening, everybody? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. All right, just wanted to check my audio, make sure everything was fine on that. Had a blip right before I was about to start the stream. Anyway, we're here, we're live, we're ready to go. Ready to get to it. All right, so I'm gonna break this down because normally I would like to try to talk about everything all at once, and then that's when I have these long ass streams. I'm gonna just talk about these three particular things, and then that's it, and we'll have something to discuss here for the following week. Because I want to try to, like I said on GRG, I want to try to see what I do, just bringing out content every day from this day on for about a couple of weeks. Let's just see what the hell happens. I've never done it. I'm ready to have some fun with it. Let's see. I got the time to do it, so let's do it. Anyway, what was the I was looking for something and I completely missed it. Anyway, oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess the first thing that I want to talk about is Black Ops 7. Okay, so right here you see in the gameplay. There was something that I noticed. Because I finished the story last night. And there was something that I noticed. And hopefully for the people that is able to watch the gameplay in the background, you'll see some achievements pop up. And what's crazy to me is that there's all these people, all these content creators, all these people talking bad about this game, right? Like, and listen, I'm not here to defend the story, because if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's not my point here. But what I am noticing, there's less than 1% that is beating levels, because this, it's separated in chapters. And the further you go, the less that it is. And I'm talking about less than 1%, less than 0.5% even. But yet we have all these content creators, all these other people out here just dog walking this game. I mean, this story mode. Something's amiss here, ladies and gentlemen, and we all know what it is. I mean, and listen, I seen there was a clip of a hip hop gamer, saying respect the brother, all this and that, but that doesn't mean that I have to agree with everything that he said. And so with that, he said something to the effect of there was that Black Ops 7 is like the new Saints Row, and not in a good way. Talking about the last Saints Row that came out, that was an absolute disaster because it was so broken and things of that nature or whatever. It ain't that serious. I'm just gonna say it right here. Now I'm saying that, because I know the brother plays games, right? But it is not that serious. This is why I show gameplay every time that I talk. Every time that I'm talking, you see gameplay, because I do not let people get away with whatever. Now, what you see, if it's not up to your standards, or you think that it's trash or whatever, that's the beauty of opinions, right? But, bruh, come on. Saints Row bad? The control. Okay, so 90%. I'm gonna say it might be lower. It might be maybe I'm gonna have to say 80% do not play Call of Duty for the story mode. The story is not what the main factor of why people play Call of Duty or play Battlefield or play any of these games that have story modes like this. So just put in just perspective, Battlefield, Call of Duty. Battlefield story is not that great either. Now, after me beating this, I will say this. In the first part of it where I played it, I was like, oh, this ain't bad at all. This is pretty damn good. It's pretty fun. I was giving it about an 8. But then towards the later ends of it, you can see with some lazy writing, it could have been AI stuff being involved into the writing and stuff like that. And it's not that serious because, I mean, Call of Duty is Call of Duty, right? It's action-packed, stuff like that. And so seems like certain places it got a little bit lazy. And so once I was done with it, I dropped it to like a 5 or a 6. the strength of the game of the story mode is the co-op. The co-op shit is fun. It is absolutely enjoyable to play. It is really, really fun. Playing it with randoms, or if you playing with people that you know, it is really, really fun. It's really fun. And I think outside of the story, where this co-op thing is going to shine is the end game. Because afterwards I played the end game and I'm like, oh, this is all right. So, okay, just think of it like this. Okay, so you see the hype of what Arc Raiders is, right? It has that type of, the end game has that type of element. Like you go and do different missions, you go to different areas, you just go and pinpoint. You could go solo, you could go with a pack, you could even just kind of link up with people just randomly out there and fight against AI opponents, right? Like it's like, okay, like if you played Halo 5's PvP mode on Halo 5's multiplayer. It's like that. I mean, it's just different missions just going all over the place, and it's huge. It looks like it's on the whatchamacallit map, one of the I forget what that mode is. It's the oh my god, whatever mode that I don't care about that level. The PUBG mode is as I call it. Battle Royale mode. Like it's like it looked like it's on that map. And so I'm like, okay, you know, well, let's go through it. And then found myself just playing with a random person. I saved them, and then we kind of linked up and stayed together. And we got into areas that had like if you're not at a higher level, you get into certain spaces and it will let you know, hey, you are in this tier. You're only like a level 3, a level 2, but you're stepping into a level 30 or a level 10 or a level something else. You need to be cautious. And so anyway, me and this guy, we was in a level like we jumped into a level 40 and we was like, oh shit, we got to get out of here. So then we dropped it to a level 10, and then there was this robot dog, and it took forever to kill them. Like it was nuts. And he took me out a couple of times. The dude saved me. Then for me saving him in the beginning, because he was trying to figure stuff out while I'm trying to figure stuff out, but I still, I had a stronger weapon than he did or whatever. And or he just wasn't paying attention about like the enemies, because I was looking and seeing the enemies on the map. Anyway, so we beat that thing, and then we extracted some stuff, kind of like Arc Raiders. You just kind of collect stuff within the game, and then like there's like these little mini boss fights and stuff that you can play, and then after that, it's over. Oh my goodness, did that gameplay stop? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry about that, folks, because that was I'll have to change it. I'll change it to another gameplay. I was wondering why I stopped beforehand. Anyway, but anyway, so did that. We extracted some stuff, and then and so then he got a like a little 4-wheeler, and he hit the horn on me, and I was like, okay, like I guess he's looking and want to go to another spot. No, okay, so there's a timer, and so I don't know anything about what that timer is. Like I don't know if that means that's how long you got, or is there going to be a ring that's kind of like in Battle Royale. I don't know what that timer is, but anyway, we got the hell out of there. He wanted to get to an extraction point because of the stuff that we collected. Like I said, it's Arc Raider-ish on that level. And so we get to a spot, there's these enemies all over the place, and then there's a group of us of just like random people, like, and it was like 2 other people that looked like they were teamed up, and we were fighting all these hordes before the plane came and picked us up. Luckily, we all did it, and then we extracted stuff, we leveled up, and I'm like, oh, that's not bad at all. That's actually pretty fun. And that seemed like that's going to be the best part of the co-op, other than the story part, because you may not like the story at all. But this whole thought about this game is so bad, is that it's the end of Call of Duty. Listen, I've been here long enough to know we've gone through this 2 different occasions with Call of Duty. Oh, okay, all right. I guess it's just, I don't know. That's why I like to record from a different entity than using the 4K Elgato sometimes because it will do that, especially if I'm double recording. That's why I like to record from a different entity. So just a lesson for me to know. Okay, anyway, whatever. So I apologize for that. Hopefully it'll even itself out. Okay, it looked like it did. All right, because I was like, I got over like almost an hour and a half of gameplay with that. Anyway, whatever, but I'm glad it evened itself out. So yes, the story is really, really out there, right? But then again, it's like what I said. We went through this with Call of Duty before, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, the worst Call of Duty to me is Ghosts multiplayer, because what people play Call of Duty for is the multiplayer. And this is so wild to me because I'm more of a Battlefield guy than I am a Call of Duty guy. But for me to defend Call of Duty is because I play the hell out of Call of Duty just as much as I play the hell out of Battlefield. But I'm a Battlefield guy more than I am a Call of Duty guy. But this stuff is crazy. We've been here before. Like, Battlefield 4 was a much, much better complete game than Ghost was. Ghost had a really crazy story that I didn't like at first, but then I dug it once I played it again. But the multiplayer was absolutely dog water. And but Battlefield, of course, EA being EA, was lazy with bringing in the product and bringing it into the new generation, and the game was so broken that you couldn't enjoy it until damn near a year later. So anyway, another one like Infinite Warfare. I remember, and so people were saying that was the death knell. Even me at that time, because I was just so upset about why Ghost was so they brought the old gen version to it. Put a little paste on it, a little, some pretty graphics on it. In some cases, it wasn't even all that great. It looked like they just ported over the same game. There really wasn't no true enhancements with Ghosts going into the new consoles. Being compared to looking at what Battlefield 4 had brought, Battlefield 4 was insanely better going to the new consoles in 2013, 2014, and but it was broken to all get out. We go into another phase with Call of Duty with Infinite Warfare. Everybody was shitting on Infinite Warfare. Everybody, and mostly what they were shitting on was the story. And like I said, I took everybody's word for it at that time. I said, all right, let me just stay away from this. But then it came on sale, and like I said, I'll play my shooters just like I play my sports games, just like I play my fighters, right? So I said, let me go ahead and try this story. Man, Infinite Warfare is one of the best Call of Duty stories out there. Bro, it's nuts. But the multiplayer was not all that great. It was okay. It wasn't as bad as Ghost, but it wasn't all that exciting, and I didn't put a lot of time into the multiplayer. Call of Duty was supposed to be dead then. Listen, Call of Duty is not going to go anywhere. So let's stop this. And this is exactly what this is. Like, everybody is getting into a point to where they want to hate on something because it's part of the Xbox tax. And on top of that, it's a big entity. Call of Duty has been a big entity for a very long time. It's really crazy to me what the defenders of this game would be if it was still having the exclusive stuff for PlayStation. Now, but it's an Xbox product. It's now something different. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm gonna call anybody out. I don't care if I like you or don't, but don't come out here and say some dumb shit about this game is bad as Saints Row. It's over. The game, the trolls is bad. The multiplayer is solid as shit. The multiplayer is where people play Call of Duty. The story, it could be whatever. Like I said, it's not the best story from Call of Duty by far. But the co-op thing, it's new, it's different. We always ask these companies to bring something different and fresh to the scene. And it was very different. It tried to bring a little horror element. Like, it seemed like it tried to blend all of what Call of Duty brings, from like the zombies to the war zone. That's what it was called. War zone to regular like Call of Duty action. It tried to blend it all. Now, did it work? To me, no, it didn't work in certain categories, but the co-op part of it works because it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. I show the gameplay. Let you observe it yourself. But again, going back to the main point that I was talking about, All these people that was showing a certain scene. Matter of fact, it was on this level here, on this level. They always showing a scene about the big about one of the characters in the game. He sits there and he gets it was called the stuff that mess with people's minds. It's called the guild or the cradle, and he gets all big and because okay, so like this is what's tripping me out. Like it shows me. It looked like it's getting stuck again. Oh my god, I'm not using that software anymore. Ugh. Anyway, I apologize for that. But seeing people talk about and usually mean that scene where the big guy is out here and they're like, it's not my Call of Duty. It's not, isn't it, bitch? It was never your Call of Duty because you always talked about you didn't care about Call of Duty in the first place. What you mean it ain't your Call of Duty? You don't play Call of Duty. You've been out there. I can find many texts from a lot of these people that sit there and was doing all this stupid ass, it's not my Call of Duty. You don't play it. You never said, you always said Call of Duty wasn't your thing. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? So again, Battlefield 4 had really fun campaign too. No, Battlefield was everything with Battlefield was absolutely superb, except for it was broken. That was it. If it wasn't broken, that game would have surpassed Ghost. It would have surpassed it. That was the ample time for Battlefield to take it over. Not to take over the whole shooting genre, because Call of Duty would have came back when Advanced Warfare was out. And that story was, and I love that gameplay. You can just check my stats on Advanced Warfare. It was everything. It was everything to me. That was the COD of COD for me. Like everybody liked Black Ops 2 and all that and Call of Duty 2 and 4. Yeah, no, they were great. But Advanced Warfare was everything for me, from the story to the gameplay. Oh my God. I put so much time, played the hell out of it, right? So and then when Battlefield Hardline came, which is a game that people shitted on at this time, because now Battlefield is now getting shunned and talking about it's in trouble. I loved Battlefield Hardline because it did something different. And that to me is where it I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. Let me see if I could try to bring this back again. Negan said Microsoft really screwed up Activision and Bethesda. Man, shut up, Negan. You're sounding ignorant. I'm listen. I'm not going to tolerate it today. I'm not. It really, what you talking about really screwed up Activision and Bethesda. The Fallout Anniversary Edition, which I do feel it, but bro, they've been doing that before Xbox have even purchased Bethesda. They've been doing that with Skyrim and everything else that they have. Oh no, I do not condone that Bethesda is over here charging you, what was it, $50? Was it $40, $60 for an anniversary? That's asinine. Ain't no way I'm spending that type of money for that. I've already got the games. I got all of the DLC. I mean, that's lunacy. So they were doing that before. Obviously, you're ignorant to the game and don't know anything about the gaming history, or you're just doing here to be a troll. And today, I'm not dealing with your troll bullshit. I'm just not doing it. How about you get on here and you talk about what Sony did to Bungie? How about you do that? But you don't want to, do you? No, because you're on some bullshit. I'm not doing it today with you. I'm not having it with you today, or anything like that. Very ignorant and ridiculous statement that you can just show that you just want to say some dumb shit, or you really don't know the history. Bethesda's been doing that. They've been doing that weird shit, and it works for them for that. I don't think it's going to. Hell, I don't know. It could work for them with Fallout. If it does, then shame on the gamers that sit here and let Bethesda get away with it, because there's no way that I'm going to do it when I already got the games. I've been a victim of PlayStation doing it on many occasions until I said enough is enough. I'm not doing it. with keep bringing the same games over and over again and like, oh, it's just $10. Oh, no. Stop that. And I'm not going to tolerate it from Bethesda or anybody else. That's ridiculous. So again, it's not hold up. And another thing too, while we at it. How about you explain why Black Ops 6 was one of the best selling and the best overall selling game for all the consoles except for, because it wasn't on Nintendo, but for PlayStation, Xbox. How about you explain that? So I don't know how they screwed up. I don't know how they screwed up Activision when just their product that they dropped last year was the biggest selling game last year. I mean, all y'all had to talk about was talking about this so-called 30-some million or, I don't know, 30 million, 300 million, some dollars or whatever that they lost because of Game Pass or whatever. And still, regardless, one of the best selling Call of Duties of all time. And it was the biggest game of last year. So I from on that standpoint, and listen, if this game, as much hate as this Call of Duty is getting, is still in the top 5 overall, then what is your argument? What is your argument? You have none. Worry about what's happening over there on PlayStation. Anyway, how about that? Let's see. Okay, so here we go talking about mass firings. There's mass firings everywhere. I mean, hell, we just sit there and seen that. What was the studio that makes Tomb Raider? They fired another 30 people. Another 30 people, 30-some people just this week. Sony has been letting go thousands and thousands of workers as well. I mean, Microsoft is a much bigger company, so yes, it's a much bigger. I mean, it's just like what happened. There's been layoffs all over the industry, not only in gaming but everywhere, all over the place. So I mean, come on, man, read the room. Stop doing it. Stop doing this. We in some real time. There's people out there suffering, and you over here want to make this a console war point. I'm over here talking about some games. And I'm talking about people over here just saying crazy shit just to want to play the console war. And I'm over here trying to talk about games. And you talking about the Xbox, bruh, but not talking about anything else. That's my goodness, it's tiring. It's tiring. But like I said, I'm not dealing with that today. You're not getting that from me today. I'm gonna have to light you up with some facts. Anyway, while I'm over here trying to get this gameplay back. Jesus Christ, this is making me mad. All right, hold on. Let me just do this then. I might do this. No, I ain't gonna have time to do that right here on this, but I'll just go back to some other gameplay. And then fix it later. So when I come back tomorrow, you'll see the gameplay that I was going to show you today. Hold on, let me browse it. Okay, hold on, where we go. Anyway, but getting back to my point. Like I said, if you don't like the Call of Duty story, that is fine. I come to find myself not enjoying it as much as I did in the beginning. Because it was some lazy moments into it. And then, I was just like, okay, all right. And there was a couple of parts that just was kind of like, I don't know, maybe a little bit unnecessary. But I kind of get what they were trying to do overall with, let's see. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll just do GRG's gameplay. All right, we'll just do that. Okay, anyway. So it's like, to me, I'm not going to tell anybody what to like and what not to like, but let's not go overboard with everything that's being stated about this game is so bad and it's still this, it is so that when the majority of the gameplay of people, why people play COD is, like I said earlier, is because of the multiplayer. People play the multiplayer, and you don't hear a lot of people talking bad about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is playing fine. So, and like I said, I think where the game, where the story mode aspect or the co-op aspect of it will shine is the end game. So all you got to do is just get through the story. It's not a very long story. I think it's like about 8 chapters or something like that, and then you're in and out, you're done, and then you get to the end game, and then you get to, I think, the meat and potatoes of where they want to go with the co-op aspect. And I think that it would work because and from what I played, it seemed fun. I'm definitely going to go back and play it again, play some more of that, because I was enjoying myself. Now, again, that's just here nor there. But we got to stop this. He says you're forcing the play campaign as a multiplayer experience. Come on now. Huh? Where are you getting that? Okay, hold on. All right. I'm okay, hold on. All right, I gotta put my glasses back on again. How are you being forced to play a multiplayer, playing the multiplayer when the multiplayer is separated? If you're talking about the co-op, well, it's a new feature. So they want you to get involved into learning how to play the game with this co-op feature that has never been into the story mode in Call of Duty before, and they're implementing. So it's not forcing you, it's an option to do that. So you're telling me that you should say, I want to skip the story and go straight into the end game. Hey, that might be something that they might implement later on, maybe after when they get to like season 4 or something like that. I have no idea. But to bring something new to the table and then say you're forced to do it it's really a bad take. A bad take. It's a new feature, bro. It's never been in Call of Duty before. So how are they being forced when the regular multiplayer is still there? Regular Warzone is still there. If you was playing just the story mode like an old COD, it would just be a single player experience. You get in, you out, and that's why people don't play it. They're bringing something different to the table. And so again, this is what gamers ask for, is something different, new and fresh. It doesn't have to be something that everybody likes. I get that point. But again, when now you're interested into what I was talking about, the end game, you're like, well, now you're forcing me to play the story. Well, what? It's all new and fresh. So again, I don't know. I don't know, man. Again, it's a big part of the problem. I think that's what's going on in the gaming space again. And this is why a lot of people get ignored, because you're doing too much goddamn complaining, too much crying. Now maybe saying, well, Mega, you complaining. I'm complaining about people complaining about the wrong shit. Coming out here grifting and trying to make it, and everything is bad. Everything is bad. I'm not saying that, again, the story is not for you. If it's not for you, that's fine. But to say everything is done, everything is bad, gaming is so over with, this is the beginning of the end. Nothing is good. Too many people of color, too many trans, too many women, too many this, that, and the third. This is why you will be ignored, and then these companies is going to do what they want to do. This is the reason. You're not, your voices are getting smaller and smaller amongst these corporations, because it seems like you're never happy with anything except for the console war, or except for the fact that a console gets more sales than another, or something like that. It's always outside of the box. It's nothing about the gaming anymore. It's about what I can do to bitch and complain and say, this is why gaming is dead or dying, or Xbox is dead and it's going away and it's never coming back, or Nintendo, is all for kids, or PlayStation just does the same thing, which a lot of their games they do, but still not all of them. But instead of sometimes, and even when I do give praise to a PlayStation game, or to if PlayStation does something right, it always get looked over really quick. If I say something positive about Nintendo, it gets looked over real quick. You just a fanboy. You said, no, I talk about everything. If I say something about Xbox, though, in a negative light, then, nigga, you're talking the truth. No, I'm just seeking the truth on any and everything. But I'm going to call out people if I feel like they're on some bullshit. And saying something like that is wild to me. I mean, I don't know what he may have heard or whatever the case may be. The feedback might be really negative, and that's fine. About the story, but about the game overall, nah. And even if, like I said, this Call of Duty doesn't sit here and does the numbers of what last year's Call of Duty did, if Call of Duty is still in the top 5 overall sales, what are we talking about? Because what that still means is still people are going to buy Call of Duty no matter what, which they already do and they already have. Hell, Vanguard was looked at as atrocious. I didn't even play the story mode. I do got Vanguard. Appreciate it was gifted to me. And I started playing the multiplayer, and I was like, the multiplayer ain't too bad. I'm gonna have to go and play the story sometime. I might stream it so we could go play it together. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stream me playing this story mode again. Now, there'll be moments that'll be kind of torturous, but then for the most part, as long as I'm playing with people, I'm having fun. I did play a part of the level that I was by myself, and I was like, this ain't, but that's when I was really enjoying it because it was like, this isn't bad. This is kind of cool. And again, let's go back to another Call of Duty, right? That got a lot of scrutiny because of its story mode. And that was just the Call of Duty before Black Ops 6. That was Battlefield 3. That was COD 3. People dog walked that story mode because it was so different. It was more open worldish, and it like people like what it was lazily made because they had to rush it because I believe of the pandemic or whatever, and people sit there or the acquisition. I wasn't because of it might have been part of it too. The pandemic and the acquisition. Remember that was exactly what was going on. Like they were just doing the same thing about that, and that Call of Duty still was up in the top 2. So stop it, please stop it. All right, you know what I'm saying. So listen, look at the gameplay, figure for yourself. I hate that the gameplay that I was trying to show. Like I said, I'll have that fixed, ready to go for tomorrow. So you can see it, and you'll see when I get the achievements how few people have played the story mode. How few. But so many people talking bad about this game. And that to me is what I'm pissed off about that. Because we have too many people that always want to call out people about not doing this, not gaming, not doing that, not doing this. And all you got to do is see the numbers. And like I said, the further you went into the game, further I went into the game after when I beat it last night, the less and less people have beaten it. 0.3%, bro. It was like what? Like when we got to the last next to the last level, it was 0.33%. Like that just shows you people don't care about the story mode like that. So it should be okay for Call of Duty or Activision or any, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, to take chances. Let's just see if maybe this might work, maybe this doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we asked for these developers to take chances. Let's not keep giving us the same old. And this definitely is not the same. As you can see, I'm fighting a big giant worm creature. And a plant creature. And again, you're probably saying, well, that's just stupid. But you got to go through the story to understand it. Like, I mean, their minds are getting tripped out. And for some reason, the people's, the characters that they were trapped in the beginning of the game. And they let this gas on them. And these people thought, oh, damn, they're going to go ahead and, they're going to go crazy and kill them and just die because they did trials on people. And so they just wanted to get rid of everybody. But their consciousness, all these guys' consciousness are as one. And that's why they can all see the same thing. Like it's gotta, like I said, in the beginning of the story, like I say the first half of the story, I'm digging it. I'm like, oh, this shit is kind of cool. And then like it starts falling flat, but the combat is still good. Like I've said that like 5 times now. So I'm not gonna say anything. But just give it all for people who got Game Pass, get it. Try it. You know what I'm saying? Play it with a friend. Hit me up if you want to play it with me. I'm going to go through it again. Like I said, I'll stream it, and you'll be the judge of it for yourself. But all this stuff that's going on with, I'm just sick of it in general, of just all this just garbage hate for everything. Like now for the stuff that was going on with like the price gouging, for people being upset about Game Pass going up and stuff like that. No, I'm all for that, right? Like that people, these companies wanted to be more greedy, like for the stuff with Bethesda, asking for this much money for the anniversary. Those things are legit. Those things gamers should be pissed off about. That's inexcusable. But this, it's the end of Call of Duty because they're doing something different with one version of their games. Come on, man. Stop this shit and stop it now. Okay, here we go. Let me read some of these comments, man. He says, I'm playing the campaign slowly with my sons. It's different, but fun playing with my with my boys. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. That's right. It's a game. He says you can play alone. Just flip the switch in the options. Yeah, you can. You can also play by yourself if you just want to play the game without playing co-op. You can do that. You could do that. I wouldn't recommend it because I mean, unless I don't know if there's an easy mode. I really don't. I really don't. I think if you are playing the multiplayer mode or something and you get a better collection of guns, then it might be easier because if you got, I don't know. That part I don't know. I just know that like there were parts in the game that were pretty goddamn tough. And I was just like, whoa, but it may have scaled because if you're playing with playing with 3 other players or whatever. I don't know if it scales on its own or something like that. I didn't see an easy mode or anything like. I didn't even try to look for it. I just jumped in and just started playing. He says, "Where's regular campaign?" Okay. Anyway, he says, said thank you, Kay. He says, "Nah, you're right, Kay. Thank you, sir." He says, "Shout out to K Mega. What up, Dirt?" He says, "One of the few real Xbox fans that never flipped." Oh, thank you, Dirt. No, absolutely not. I'm not flipping shit. I know what I like, and I you know what I'm saying. Like, listen, I enjoy PlayStation, bro. I don't hate it, but PlayStation don't offer me what Xbox offer me. Nintendo don't offer me what Xbox offer me. PC, I enjoy the hell out of PC now since I got me a powerful rig. But it still don't offer me what Xbox offer me. And that's why I have to sit here and not be allowed to say that is really stupid. For anybody that sits there and say, Mega, you shouldn't be saying this because Xbox is 3rd place in the console sales, man, kick rocks. Shut up. Play some damn games. I can say what the hell I want to, for one. Obviously, you say what you want to. I just don't care that much about what you have to say. I shouldn't ever have to sit. Nobody should ever have to be in a position to not want to say how they feel about something, if they love it or like it. And that's the thing. If there's criticisms with Xbox, there's criticism with Xbox. And there's some of those things I will agree. There might be more things I disagree with. But regardless, it is what it is. But for me to sit here and to tell you Xbox is my place of where I like to play my games. I love the features. I love what Xbox brings. I love the interface. I love what Xbox provides. I'm seeing what the games that they're providing, all this, that, and the third. And I still got to be looked at as, oh, you're just a corporate shit. What the, bro, what? When you're sitting here begging for the games that you say that it's Xbox Game Pass fodder, you're begging for them. Get the hell out of here. Stop it. God. features that you enjoy on your PlayStation today is from Xbox. It's from Microsoft. No hands, no ands, ifs, buts about it. You basically are a thought for Xbox. You just don't want to sit there. They're one of them closet freaks, right? Like that's what they are. They're a closet freak. They sit here and they'll talk bad and they'll say, oh, I hate Xbox. Xbox is done. Yeah, look at that. All those games coming over here. Why would I need an Xbox? Blah, 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 blah. But most of your ad revenue is because of Xbox. Most of your, you know what I'm saying? All your talking points is Xbox. The games you like to talk about are Xbox games. The talking about trophies, that's an Xbox feature that just you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's no different than Elvis over there taking music from you know what I'm saying, from Black America. You know what I'm saying, from Black musicians, and turn it into something that people said that it was his, but it wasn't, even though I'm not saying that Elvis wasn't talented, but I'm just saying. I mean, this is exactly the same thing. Like an Xbox feature that has been known and beloved through Xbox stages. And I remember when PlayStation gamers were, you know, saying that they didn't need achievements. They're fine with the way it is. Blah, blah. Look at this. Hold on. I'm gonna pause this. Hold on. Let me rewind that. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Did it pop up? No. Hold on. Let me back up. Okay, so once I see it, I'm gonna pause it, and you'll see. This was what the I didn't play the story mode the first night the game came out. It was a couple of nights. It was maybe it wasn't Friday. Was it? It was last week. But just when that achievement pop up, you'll see it. And then, but yet we had everybody and their mama talking about this game last week, and you got people still talking about the game. And like I said, it's atrocious. It's atrocious how these people get on the internet and they talk and they sit there and listen. I play. You could say like, well, Mega, you don't beat everything. Yeah, I got so many goddamn games. And there might be games that I'll play and then I'll get crossed up into something and then I haven't finished it yet, but I'll come back and I beat them later on. And then then the excuse will be when I go back and I beat a game, maybe 7-8 years later, oh man, you need to beat your games day one. Why you buy a game? When you buy a game day one, you're supposed to beat it right then and there. I didn't know that was a rule. I didn't know that you bought this game for me. To tell me that was my standard. But you didn't. So therefore, if I want to beat that goddamn game 15 years from now, then damn it, that's what I do. But again, it is what it is. There's always an excuse. But I'm never going to sit there and talk bad about a game that I have not played. I never have. I never will. They tried to lie and say I did, but I never did. I never talked. Even with Call of Duty, and I've told that story a million times. But with God of War 2018, I didn't even talk bad about the game. I just said something about it. And then so no, you didn't play the game. And then when I played it to beat it, it was silence as usual. But there was plenty of people opening their mouth talking about the game that didn't beat it themselves. I mean, shit, we saw the stats. Okay, here we go. All right, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this right here. Right here. Unbelievable. This is the proof in the pudding. This all right here just to kill any narrative and make the point right there. You see my gameplay. I beat this level. And look at the stat, the percentage. That is absolutely disgusting. But yet, you got thousands upon thousands upon thousands. This was, I think, like the third level. This is like the third level, people. Look at this. Stop it. Game over. Shut up. That's all you need to do. So That's it. Game over. Game over. Game over. We now know what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. We now know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of liars in this game. It's been like that, but my God, you got people that sit here and been talking about this game for a whole week, and I'm over here playing this shit, and look at this, man. Mo, hey, Hollis, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Alatone, you know what I'm saying? Negan, Elite, Curie, you know what I'm saying? What? Dirt. people that's in here that ain't made a comment. Look at this, 0.12%. But we got all these people on the net talking about how Call of Duty is done and how Microsoft is killed the game. So you mean to tell me that you are that much of a sheep? You're that much of a person that sits there and you're cattle like that to where you don't want to experience a game to get an understanding for yourself, but yet you'll rinse and repeat the shit that they say just off of what they're saying, and they ain't probably played the game themselves. Listen, Next Gen said it. That's a line that's been out for a long time, but I will give it to Next Gen because that's the first time I've ever heard it. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, Jack. That's it. 0.12%. I don't want to hear nothing else from any of these haters. Pick up a goddamn stick and play some games, please. Please, please. But I left that there for a second. I'm finna move on. God damn it, I gotta move on. Big Bad Mo said I just looked at mine and it went up to 0.65. Brother, man, like I said, last night, when we get to the next to the last level, when I saw that, and that was when I wasn't even thinking about that or paying attention to that, right? It was last night, and I seen it was 0.33 to the next to the last level. So I'm sitting here, hold up, what? So yeah, no, I got the diamond. That's beautiful, right? Like, I mean, but my point of it is that there's so many people that's been doing all this talking and they're not playing. And that to me is the egregious part of it. For the people who's played it, who don't like it, I got nothing else. I can't say nothing to you because that's just what it is. But to come and say that this game is done or Call of Duty is over or Microsoft has done something awful with Activision, you know what I'm saying? I think this is Treyarch who's worked on this one. I can't remember. But regardless, they're trying something different and new, and I'm digging the co-op. And listen, let's not get this twisted too. And before I move on to the next topic, is the fact of Battlefield 6 campaign. Battlefield 6 campaign ain't that hot either. It seems like there's a lot of AI thrown in stuff in there as well. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like at the very beginning of it, I was like, oh, this is all right. I'm like, why are people tripping about it? And then I'm like, oh, you know, I get to the middle part of it and I'm like, okay, all right. But again, I got to finish it. I haven't finished it. I might fall in love with it. So that's another thing. I might need to go do both. I might need to stream both. But I will definitely stream Call of Duty again. I will go through the parts that was torturous to me. That I was like, uh-oh. And then, you know, so at the beginning, I'm going to be having a good time with it. But then it was that middle, so right where the part after that, where it was just, there was no cloud. It was like real, like Call of Duty old school style, like some, you know, you going on there, you jumping on buildings and doing some wild fun shit. That was really dope. That's why I'm like, oh, this game is fire. But then after that, there was that level after that. I was like, oh, and then it got back hype again, and then it kind of went left, and then I was like, okay, and then it got pretty good again, and then I was like, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not the best Call of Duty story ever, you know what I'm saying, ever made. But it's damn sure not worthy of Call of Duty being, Call of Duty being done. So again, all right, like I said, let's move on for that. Let's get on and talk about Sara and her interview. He said, I like it and it's different. They are trying to change things up. And that's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want, Big Bad Mo. That's what we want. We want change. We don't want every Call of Duty to be the same Call of Duty, especially if you're going to keep bringing them every year, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just like what I say about Halo. And when I had that big long discussion last week about Halo, like, listen, Halo 5 should be a standard at not at every Halo, but on like give people what Halo 5 offered. Give people what they want. If they want the old traditional Halo stuff, if that's what they want, bring people Halo Infinite. Bring people what Halo 4 offered, if that's what you want to do. Like, but let's not. I mean, I know the things that work and what don't work and stuff like that. Like, it's not as easy as saying to do it, compared to, putting in the hard work and the effort behind it. But variety is always a beautiful thing compared to just having stagnation. And that's why I don't ever fault games that try to do something different. And that's why I always try to talk about games that people may not know about or hear about. And that's why I try to show gameplay of certain crazy games that people have never seen before, because I feel like it's really important to show those games off. Like I will always talk about Echoes to an End. I think that game is fantastic. It's a new title. It has really cool concept. The story was really good. I really was highly impressed with that game. So anyway, but you're absolutely right. We need that. We need that for sure. All right. So Sara Bond, she did an interview, and it was quite interesting. I did like the lady that asked the questions, for sure, because she was nice, but then she was also direct about some of the questioning that she asked, which gamers wanted to know. Sara Bond, I thought she did a really good job with her interview. She did avoid a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? Saw them eyes move, trying to avoid a couple of things because, the pressure's on certain things for sure. But there was other questions that you could just hear from her that you knew that it was genuine. And the one thing that I just came across was that, I really do feel Xbox is going to be in a good place. After Phil, I really do, because there's one thing that she said that really caught my attention. She said, "We all like to have our things to be the same, and we all want our things to last forever. But in reality, it doesn't work that way." She's like, you could be in your old chair. You can have an old chair that you love, she says, but over time it will deteriorate. It just won't fit the same, or it just won't sit the same, things like that, or just anything in general. And she's like, that's the same thing with technology and electronics and stuff like that. Things has to adapt and to change in order for things to thrive. And I mean, and that's true. Like, I mean, now, you could sit here and you could say something of the sense of, I mean, there's always pushback to something. So you can sit there and say, well, what about these old homes that still stand as long as people can sit there and take care of them? Yeah, no. And compared to newer homes that it seems like there's always problems with them because of the fact of, because there just wasn't the same love and care with what, because, these homes get built real quick and stuff like that. And compared to a house that is still standing, that's from the damn 50s, right? Well, those things, there's factors behind that, and that is the quality of the product. You know what I mean? Like, so for instance, okay, I've always told this story about my PlayStation 1 experience. Like, that's still one of my favorite consoles of all time. But I went through, it was over 10 PlayStation 1s. And I told the story for people who don't know that I had a homeboy that worked at KB Toy Store. So I could always turn it in. And then the last time, which was the 10th or 11th time, and he was like, bro, you're gonna have to lace me up with some bread. And he's like, man, you can't keep, he says, what the hell are you doing? But again, I mean, I'm playing the hell out of my PlayStation 1, right? So, and over time, and you know what I'm saying? And even though that was, it could be just like, because then things could have been cheaply made, could have been. That's why the one thing with the PlayStation 1 that was always getting broken was the eye. Like, it wouldn't read discs. So it seemed like that was a cheaper product, or maybe it was, whatever, that maybe a manufacturing issue for that stock. and whatever. I have no idea, right? But I have a PlayStation 1 that has lasted me forever now. Like, so it could be not just because of cheap parts, or maybe because I don't play PlayStation 1 as much. I don't know. I have no idea. But it still, the one that I have, it still works. And I also have the PlayStation 1 Mini, right? So that's it. The PlayStation 2, it was a much better product, in my opinion. I only went through 3 of those. Now, the OG Xbox is still going strong. I've only had to go through one. Now, again, I got my I let my son hold on to my Halo Edition Xbox, and so now he moved, and so like he let me have all the rest of the let me have my console back and shit. So I need to see if it still works, but it still worked the last time I played on it. So, and I mean that I got that day one. I got the Halo Edition. Hey, day one, it still was working the last time I played it. Now I don't know if it's jacked up now or not, but I will check and see. But the OG Xbox, that was an elite product. It you know what I'm saying? Like even the old Nintendos, other than the part where sometimes the games wouldn't read, that puppy will still cut on and work. The Sega Dreamcast. I never had a problem with a Sega Dreamcast. Never. Now I do not have one anymore. I need to get me one. The Jaguar was a bad product because once it broke, I was done with it. I was like, I'm not buying another one. So what's going on with you, Michael Turner? He says it was those black discs that made the PS1 laser fail so much. Oh, is that what it was, Elite? What's going on with you, Husky? Yeah, the OG Xbox was bulletproof, bro. That was a fantastic. I mean, when it comes to standard and all that, like that was a badass console. Like I said, the PlayStation 2 was a badass console too. Now the 360, oh my God, I didn't get as many 360s as I did the PlayStation 1, but boy, I went through a lot of them. Jack. And so so now I got my son's 360 is cooked. I was trying to look and see like what games he had on his. It's cooked. It don't even work. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. But my 360, I remember I had my 360. I gave it to an ex kids, and so I didn't have a 360, and so I got me a refurbished one, and it's working fine. Like I'll sit here and play lips and stuff on that, but it's the newer version of the 360, not the original. I will if it's white. If it's one of the original 360s, I stay away from it like the plague, because those bad boy, you just do not know if you got the red ring of death. I remember the last time I got one at a pawn shop, and that bad boy, I took it there and it was cooked, and I took it back, and then they gave me my money back, and then I went ahead and I just bought a new 360 with the newer ones. So I stay away from the original Xbox 360 games, because you just don't know what's out there in the wild. Even if they're refurbished, I just don't trust them. So anyway, but the 360, the newer ones, they still work. I mean, I always tell you guys I'm always playing lips, and if you check and see my if you on my friends list or whatever, you'll see I'll be playing lips. Or I mean, just the other weekend I was playing Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Everything works beautifully. So I don't know. But so let's see. My PlayStation 4 still going strong, even though I don't play it as much, but I can still boots up. The Nintendo not GameCube, but the GameCube was I didn't have no problems with that, but that was my son's. I bought that for my son, so I didn't care about the GameCube like that. The Super NES, good solid console, no doubt about it. But anyway, all I'm talking about the consoles enough. Go back to what I'm talking about, Sarah Bond. Sorry, but she's right, and I got what she meant. Even though, like, I understand from the standpoint of us as gamers. That was from my Xbox. Okay, so as gamers, we like the things that we don't want too much change. And I totally get that. Like, I don't like the change about the games going over on other consoles, but but like I've come to the realization of, is it really hurting me to that degree that Halo is now eventually going to PlayStation from the standard? Yeah, I don't like it. But really, when I turn on my box and I see Halo right there, the new Halo or any Halos, like, is it really hurting me? Is it really, really, really that detrimental to the point to where I'm saying, like, Xbox, I no longer want to deal with Xbox anymore? And the answer is no, from my standpoint, because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's weird, it's different, but it's just like what the interviewer asked, Sarah Bond was like, how is that balance of trying to deal with boomers? I did not like the fact, and I could tell she was a millennial, because you know what millennials like to do? They like to overlook Gen X, and I know that we're the Gen X is going to probably go down as probably one of the craziest, worst generations, maybe, but I don't know. We'll find out in time. But she overskipped, you know what I'm saying? But you could tell she was a millennial. But she's talking about boomers and then millennials. Nah, sister. You better talk about Gen X. Gen X in the house, baby. And so anyway, how to balance out boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, all that. And so like what Sarah Bond brought up, and like what I've mentioned before, is that you can tell the younger generations, especially I think going into the younger millennials on down, especially Gen Alpha, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they play their games on the go. They're the cell phone generation, Jack. They look at consoles and PCs. They don't look at consoles that corny, but it's just they want to play their games on a mobile or something like that. And again, as us old fuddy-duddies, we sit here and we like, man, nah, I want my stuff like what it is. It just, I hate change. We've gone through so many changes that has helped us through gaming. Like, if we still had this same mentality, think about it. We would still be dealing with memory cards that PlayStation would be dropping. Or if we even want to take it even further for the boomer and Gen X crowd, and maybe, I guess, because there would be the now older millennials. But we would be going through having to where we wouldn't have saves with games. If we would still allow ourselves to not have change come in any type of growth. You know what I mean? And so you're saying, well, Mega, this is different. No, it's not. It's really not. Because as we see, and as I've shown, is that gamers, especially these younger gamers, money is tight, Jack. And so they're not buying games. These young kids are not buying games like we buy games. They're just not. I mean, we just talked about this on GRG. I mean, I talked about this before. We are now sitting here being accepting to PlayStation games selling 3 million copies, when that was just the gen before. They would shit on any game that was less than 3 million or 3 million or less. I mean, that's the reality. We are in a time where people want you to forget how things were, but then yet still want you to still believe that gaming should still be this old traditional way, that if we still took that we still had that type of mindset, gaming wouldn't have thrived, and gaming would not be as big as it is without a lot of crazy stuff going on in the gaming that maybe at the time we looked at and was like, this is weird, but then it's like you fell in love with it. So and like I said, I'm going to get pushback from somebody about it, but that's fine. I think it's a great conversation. But I loved what Sarah Bond brought up about that, because she's absolutely right. Things has to change over time. Nothing stays the same. And when you look at the climate of what's going on in gaming, people just aren't buying games like they are. That's why subscription services are still here. When people thought subscription services was all going to go away, that's why we're looking and we're seeing I think for the counterbalance is that since people aren't buying the games like they want to, I think it's greed, and also trying to get a counterbalance is to raise prices of games to try to balance out the money that they were losing last gen. I mean, they're losing now that they wasn't last gen. I think the smart solution is to go back to $60 games, but again, that's a whole nother discussion for something else. I also thought what was really smart with that point that she made was that she understands about the scrutiny that she's getting from it behind it. And just Xbox in general. Like, I mean, it's not only just her. I mean, you don't hear Matt Booty's name getting dropped a lot because Matt Booty stays in the back, right, Jack? He's like, right? But Phil and Sarah they take L's. They take a lot of L's because of the strategy and the moves that they're doing. But I think she's absolutely right. And it does take adjustment to get through it, but it's not killing my day when I'm sitting here and I'm turning on my Xbox. Or if I'm over here turning on my PC and I'm playing my game on PC through my Xbox and still getting my achievements, I look at that as growth, because I'm like, okay, my PC is much more powerful than my Xbox. Why not experience that with some of these single player games? Because right here, this gameplay that you're seeing is all from my Xbox, from my Series X. So again, and it looks great. But again, it's like, when I'm playing Hellblade, yeah, I looked at the difference, and the Hellblade looked great on my Series X, but it looked God tier on my PC. So I love it. Okay, so let me see what you're saying. Let's see, Alatone, he said, nah, you right about that. You need that change to progress. The stuff that these consoles do now, how about that quick resume? Brother, I don't talk about quick resume enough. It is fantastic. It is a great strategy. Now, again, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's a feature that I guarantee you that PlayStation is going to try to implement into their new console because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that she was on point with that. Now, another thing that she was brought up, which is the headline of the day, what the thumbnail is that there's hardware coming, which she sit there and alluded to it for a very long time. A lot of people alluded to it, all this and that. But again, insiders were saying it's canceled. She went all in on that. Again, we're committed to the hardware. We're committed to it. And she also said on top of that, like, I do feel that if I don't take chances every day, that how am I supposed to know what works and what don't? It kind of goes into this whole thing about what I started off with, the topic of the Call of Duty thing. How will we know if what Call of Duty strategy is with the co-op thing and changing up the story and stuff like that will work or not? Well, obviously it doesn't seem like it does. Is working because there's people just complaining about it for the story aspect, but maybe the co-op thing is going to be something that is going to be implemented in all the rest of the Call of Duties because there's not people that's not saying they don't like that. So that's what I loved about what she said as well, was that, hey, I got to take chances. Why not? How are we going to know what's going to work, what's not going to work? How will we know about if Game Pass was going to work if they didn't implement it? How are we going to know if Quick Resume didn't work, or Picture in Picture didn't work, or putting apps where people can watch Netflix and Voodoo and all that other stuff, right? Like, how are we supposed to know? How are we supposed to know about a Kinect or about a handheld or anything of like that if you don't take the chances to do it? I mean, PlayStation takes chances with it, and once it don't work, PlayStation moves around from it. You know what I'm saying? They took a chance with VR. I mean, listen, I wish them the best for it, but it doesn't seem like it's working because it just, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Pricing is definitely a factor, but it's also the games. Like, I mean, it just, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I hate that for the people who love VR, but there's other VR things out there. But how would we know? How will we know about the Switch if Nintendo didn't take a chance with it, right? They just made a big version of a Game Boy and said, let's hook it up to your TV. That shit is dope. And look what Nintendo is doing. Like, nobody can't even deny what Nintendo is doing right now. Nobody can. They can deny how Nintendo's practices is, of course. And then people can, do the same thing about Xbox's practices and about their strategy of doing this. But in the sense of it, it's like I've said before, we don't want none of these big three to go away. Because once one of them goes away, it is all she wrote for gaming, in my opinion. Because if you got Xbox going away, then God forbid Nintendo and PlayStation running the game. God forbid. See, they think it's going to be a epic time with this, that, and the third. Nah, well, because we can still play Xbox games anyway, because Xbox, and that's true. But then Xbox can be as greedy as they want to and say, listen, and PlayStation could be just like, all right, man, listen, let's raise the price of these Xbox games, and then to $80. And then we got our games for $70, but we don't have to produce as many games because we could just feed off of Xbox's games, right? Like that could definitely be a possibility. Nintendo, you think they're gonna shortchange themselves? They're only gonna want more money. They got one less piece of competition in a company that likes to innovate like Microsoft does. Nah, it ain't. It would be devastating. And in the same thing, let's say PlayStation goes away. Well, then Xbox and Nintendo being in charge, Microsoft, the conglomerate that it is, and then you got Nintendo being what Nintendo is, brother. It is not good. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good because there ain't gonna be no consumer friendly anything. So you need these big three. So going and trying and doing these things and changing up the game. It isn't what we're used to, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. So I like that. Take chances. How are we going to know if we're going to like this stuff? No, because I remember when we first looked at Quick Resume, we were like, okay. But see, my thing was Play Anywhere. Like, that was my jam. And there was people that was trying to push back on me about me talking about Play Anywhere. I don't like my PC. I don't care about Play Anywhere. What? You don't care about buying a game one time and not having to worry about if you do ever get a PC, or let's just say you got something that is PC oriented, like that Rogue Ally X or a Steam machine or something like that. And you can go on your Xbox app and you can play that game on the go and purchase it one time. Are you mean to tell? But see, again, some people only just think about how they feel about something and not the broader thing, the broader spectrum. So again, I thought what she said was great. Keep taking your chances. How are we going to know if stuff works? If it doesn't, it doesn't. And again, what I like about what she said is that, listen, if I take the ultimate L and I get let go for me taking some chances to try to help this company succeed, then so be it. I don't want to go out with no regrets. And that's how it's supposed to be. How you gonna know about winning if you don't know about failure as well? You got to take your L before you can get your win. That's just the way it is. Anyway, a thing right here where she got caught in a situation, them eyes was moving, was talking about the situation with the direction of Xbox's the exclusivity thing or whatever. And I mean, there's really nothing you can really say, right? Like, they've made this move, and she went to the topic, like, we want players to play everywhere and to have access to other things and things like that. And I mean, listen, it turned corporate talk on that, and I'm like, what else can she say on it? I mean, it's not like she could say, well, listen, this is for the business model, because also the question was brought up about the 35%. The 35%. And so she's saying there's a lot of growth and there's a lot of things within it and stuff like that. Really, there's really nothing that she could say on that either, because we don't know how that's going to play out. We just all know that the four horsemen over there, Amy Hood and that crew over there, Saudi and them, the four horsemen of apocalypse. They want their money. They want their motherfucking money. So they can't overrule them. So there's what can you say? You just got to say, listen, we're gonna just bring the best product. We're gonna do all this and that and the third, and try to and you know what I'm saying. And since we have so many different ways to make money, this will hopefully help the situation happen. Like, I mean, there was really nothing she said, but I did love that woman asked that question. I thought the interviewer was really good. She had a smile on her face, but then she also laid a couple of, you know what I'm saying, she threw some darts at Sara Bond. And so, you know, and so I was just like, okay, that was a good question, and that she couldn't really answer because we don't know yet. But another thing too that I liked, was Sara Bond broke down about like the analytics or whatever about knowing what, you know, the Game Pass is, because I love this part because it was kind of it wasn't a direct shot at anybody, but it was an indirect shot at people who don't play games but like to talk. And I don't know if people caught that, but that shit was funny to me because she said we do the analytics and stuff, and we found out that people that plays on Game Pass, they play 20% more, and they also purchase games, right? So they purchase more games. Also, she brought up the fact, she's like, we listen and we pay attention to everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of stuff from all different types of entities. But we also pay attention to gaming, to how I forgot the actual word that she said, but she also they pay attention to how people are gaming, right? So for instance, if you over here talking this shit, like as the point I'm just bringing up about Call of Duty's story mode, and then you look and you see it's 0.12%, they know it. They know it. They know it. You said, what's darts? You don't know what darts are, bro? You don't know what a dart is, Rain? Come on now. Game Pass is golden. I'll still say, says, no, Phil never asked what the hardcore wants, and I got destroyed on Twitter by him. That is not true whatsoever, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, the hardcore said that they didn't want picture in picture. They wanted a console to be a console. They didn't want the Kinect. They didn't want all that. What are you talking about? They didn't listen to the console. No, you should have got destroyed by that, because he helped make a console what the hardcore said they wanted, which the hardcore is now over there glazing PlayStation. That's giving them picture in picture. Stop it. No, brother. Do not do that. Elite, he said, I don't give a fuck about PC, to be honest, but play anywhere is a great thing. And that's fine, but that's what I'm saying. But there was people that would say that, but then say that's I don't care about that, but I don't want that. We don't need that. What you mean we don't need that? Because again, that's what I'm saying. Like when you when you look now, you need it. You appreciate it when you have that Rogue Ally X, or if you got that Steam machine, or if you got a handheld that'll play Xbox games on it, or play that you know, go through the Xbox app and you can play those games on it. Do Play Anywhere. You care about that then, because just think about that. Just think about the bad press that would get, even though PlayStation doesn't get it. But the bad press that would be, you got a handheld and you're like, man, why do I got to buy this game again? Because you will have people that say that, and there will be some media people that will get out there and try to say this, content creators, see Xbox is being greedy. But then when they doing something generous like that, I mean, and I don't know, you know, how the money goes, if you know what I'm saying, if you're talking about generosity or anything like that. I mean, obviously they got to make some kind of money off something. But what Play Anywhere really means. So you don't have to care about PC, the actual, like, you know, sitting desktop PC. But if you got any of these handhelds, which I know a lot of people do, that helps a lot. That helps a lot. And we know it. He says no, because Phil never asked what the hardcore wants. Oh, no, they would just sit there. Okay, so when you said what's darts, and I'm saying darts. You remember the darts like you throw at a dartboard, and that she's throwing darts right back at the people that do all this talking. But man, they see those analytics. They see what you're doing out there. They see what you're doing, and that's why I say that's why a lot of voices is getting smaller and smaller. They don't expect you to game, and when I see people that said they beat 60 some games in a year, like I'm like, God bless you, bro. It ain't that serious. I love my gaming, but I can't. How can I enjoy my experience, especially like playing something like Expedition 33, and then I'm jumping right next to playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then I'm beating games like that 63 times. You kind of lose perspective of what's the good game and what was a decent game or whatever the case may be, because you only probably really remember the last game that you beat. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, and that's fine. You want to beat that many games, that is absolutely fine. But I don't know. To me, I like to take things slow, especially when it's coming to big games. I like to take it slow and easy, absorb what's going on in the game, things like that. I don't need to sit here and just I don't have anything to prove. If somebody still said today, say I'm not a gamer, but by all means, say I'm not a gamer, whatever. But that's just wild to me. Like I'm just 64. I'm like, God bless you, and what you got going on. It ain't me, Jack. How many games I beat? I'll probably be about maybe 11 at the most. It's between 9 and 11, and I think that's a great stance, because again, games that I play. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I like to play a lot of big games, so when I have the time to. So anyway, that's just me. Okay, so yes, Game Pass is very golden. He said, he says, I was trolling. He says, you didn't get the reference. Oh, I did not. Yeah, I did not. I was just like, what are you talking about, bro? He said, I still don't want PC exclusives. They have. That's just, man, you mean to tell me you wouldn't want where Win meets? That game is kind of dope. I mean, and I think eventually that game will come to Xbox, just like what is it, Absolver or something like that. I plan on picking that up now, because I hear the good news, because this is where I was, because I've heard Husky been talking about that game. It's on PC and PlayStation, I think, or maybe it's just I think it is on PC and PlayStation. I can't remember, but it's a kind of beat 'em up game, and I was like, oh, this does look pretty good. I would like to play this. But then I'm like, no, all my sights right now is on that Marvel game, that little Marvel game. And now finding out that Marvel beat 'em up game, now finding out that game is going to come on Game Pass, absolute win. So anyway, Rain says, name 10 PC exclusives that will make me get a PC. All right, okay, hold on. You're gonna make me look. Ooh, hold on. Why are you gonna make me go in here and look at my Steam? Hold on. Let's see. All right. Well, I don't know. That's going to be really difficult for me to probably bring that up to you, because I don't know what all games that you like. But then again, I could definitely name you. I know I can give you 5, but they're fighting games. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's one reason. That's 5. But I know you don't like as many fighting games as I do. So that's probably not going to be right. But there's a lot of games, like, and I know this for a fact, that you would like where Win meets. But again, I think that's on PlayStation 2. So anyway, maybe you might got me on that one, but I don't know. You said Absolve them. Is that what it is? Okay. And he said it's co-op. Yeah, I knew it was co-op, but that I'm finna get that now because of that news for that. Anyway, whatever. So He says where Men Meets looks cool, played a little on my PlayStation 5, but the combat and gameplay just didn't feel good to me. Maybe I need to play a little bit more. But see, again, I don't think that game is going to play well on a PlayStation. I don't think that game is going to play that great on a Xbox Series X. I think that game will play a lot better on a series on a new Xbox and a new PlayStation. But see, that's where PC thrive if you got a strong enough PC, or even if, you know what I'm saying, I mean, because you could change the settings on it and just kind of, you know, play at 1080p, you know, and play 100 frames per second. You know what I'm saying? According to what kind of device you have on PC. That's the difference. So So I don't know. But that game is dope. That game is pretty damn dope. For sure. He says, why play that where it means where win game when best girl comes with Withering Waves tomorrow, I think. We said Chisla or whatever. Yeah, they're talking about Withering Waves come tomorrow, I think. Is Withering Waves finally coming to Xbox? Now that part I don't know. I know Withering Waves, that's a good game. I got that on PC too. So, I mean, I've been had that for a minute. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. Like, listen, I'm not ever going to try to tell anybody because I'm still more of a console gamer than I am a PC gamer. But I find myself playing way more PC than I have ever. Just because of the fact of I can play games at a better clip than I can on my consoles. I just can't. And like I said, I wouldn't want to play where Win meets on a console because I know that it's going to be dumbed down like crazy. So I mean, and that is just what it is. So I don't, you know, that's for me. But I don't know. You might have cooked me. You said someone has a preference for schoolgirls. Stop that. And then so Curie said maybe we'll find out if Withering Waves will come to Xbox Thursday. Yeah, that is a good thing. Also, I need to know if because the rumors of Baldur's Gate 3 will be Play Anywhere. That's going to be a win-win for me because I have the PC version of it, but I bought the Xbox version because I was like, man, games like this I got to support, you know. So then I was like, okay, and then when the rumor came out about you know, for it to come being like this, I heard the rumor a while back, but I was like, I don't know, and then I didn't hear anything, and then heard it again. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just wait and jump back on it and start playing it on Xbox on my PC, and then I can get those achievements. So I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully that too. And if, you know what I'm saying, because I mean, they already got those other games that's on Xbox now that was, so Withering Waves cover there. Withering Waves is pretty damn dope too. But again, so much, it just so many games, not enough time. Not enough time. He says, I don't like using mouse and keyboard. Never. I don't ever use a keyboard and mouse. My son will play League of Legends, and so I tried to play it. I just give me a controller. No, all my games I play is with a controller with my Xbox Elite. I don't play anything on my PC with a keyboard and mouse. I'm with you on that. I'm all controller. To play something like Halo Wars or Guilty Gears, not Guilty Gear, but Gears Tactics. I mean, or Civilization. Those are, you know, to play with a mouse and keyboard is much better. But I still play those things with a keyboard, with a controller. And I'm saying it's just me. So. He says right there are just so many gamers. I am never not happy gaming nowadays. Yeah, so he said, so Curie said, I also finally played Dual Night Abyss yesterday. It's got my attention story-wise, though. It's a bit buggy. Registering was not intrusive either. Not having to gamble for characters is also is nice, though. So yeah, no, I've looked at that too. I've seen it. That was on sale for about $20, and I had enough Xbox bucks to get it, but I'm like, it's not going to ever get that much burn from it because the stuff that I'm playing right now. So I'm just like, I'll wait unless, you know, Black Friday is pretty good. If it comes back on sale or something like that, then I might look into it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I see, I still have to jump in and play some Arc Raiders. I played the demo and that's it. I haven't even booted it up. Husky hit me up and I was watching the Thunder game and then watching Monday Night Football. So I didn't even see his. He hit me up on Xbox. So I got to jump in there and play some Arc Raiders. So it's just what it is. But anyway, finishing this off on Sara Bond. I thought the interview was really good. The one main thing though is that the console is coming, and she keeps reiterating that this console is going to be a beast. So get ready to pay out the yazoo. So I don't know if this thing is going to be a something that we've never seen before from a console hybrid wise. And what she also gave emphasis on was that it doesn't matter how you want to play, it will work for however you want to play, in a sense of just like, if you just want to make it just a traditional console, then by all means. If you want to have it as a hybrid PC thing, it's going to work for you that way. If you want to see, and obviously it's going to be where you have your handhelds or whatever, that's going to work for you as well. So and so maybe this thing could have a docking machine or something like that. That's going to be very interesting. That's going to be really cool. So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out, man. I'm intrigued by it. He says we getting on Arc tonight. Yeah, let's get on. Let's do it. There ain't no Thunder game tonight. Ain't nothing worth. I don't care about anything sports wise. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't. We can get on tonight. We can play some Arc Raiders tonight for sure. You said, you didn't get her during launch, huh? Yeah, you're talking to right. He says, I got lucky. I should return to ZZZ, but I might wait until I have all Chivos and Gishin first. Yeah. See, and that was another good game too. I enjoyed playing. He says it didn't took the game seriously until Caesar. Okay, they're talking about that. Cowboys acting like they won the Super Bowl last night, bro. I know. I mean, that was. We watched the Thunder game, and then after that, we watched the last. It was the last like I think it was at the end of the third quarter. Game was already looking like it was cooked. It was done, and But I mean, also they were in support and for the young man that passed away. So. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Dallas played with a lot of urgency and stuff like that. I mean, so again, but I mean, the Raiders, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into sports. Okay, so he says, I was surprised you didn't get the reference. I'm sorry, brother. I did not get the reference. He said, I only picked 2 characters. Oh, that's Curie talking about that. All right. Anyway, let's see. Hold on. Oh yeah, the VGAs, the 19 nominations. Last thing, and then we get out of here. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to go through the categories, and then I can't wait to hear what you guys got to say on what you think what's going to win and what you like, right? And I'll tell you what, because I'll go and show you my picks, or whatever, and we'll have a fun doing that tomorrow. But I want to mainly talk about these 19 nominations, brother. PlayStation, I think, only dropped what, four games this year? 4 games. 4 games. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to say 4 to 5 games this year. 4 to 5 games. I'm being generous because I think it's only 3, but I'm gonna say 4 to 5. 19 nominations. We know what the one game is that got the most nominations. And that's Death Stranding 2. Bro, 19 nominations. And the VGAs ain't slick. I'll show it to you tomorrow. But I was going through when I was making my vote. I caught something And I don't know if you guys caught it too. I don't know if anybody talked about it. I'm pretty sure some people have. But if you haven't, I'll show it, but I won't talk about it right now. Okay, so anything that was published from PlayStation, it was labeled. It was labeled. It was labeled. Xbox didn't get labeled like that. Case in point, Bethesda. See, bro. Okay, so all right, with Helldivers, we all know that PlayStation paid for the publishing for that. I don't know if that's even their I don't even know if that's their like I don't know if that's a studio their studio. I know that they paid for the publishing for the game. And that's fine, right? Like, I mean, that's cool. But bro, this is what they did. This is what they did. When they just said Bethesda and whatever, never mentioned Microsoft's Xbox. But when it came to PlayStation, they made sure that they did Sony Entertainment or Sony something behind anything that Sony published. From Death Stranding 2 to, oh my God, look at this. Hold on. Let me pause this for a second. Oh man, hold on. Damn. Oh, damn it. Okay. From Death Stranding 2 to Helldivers. Of course, the movie stuff, the TV stuff, and other entities. They were adamant in the writings of where they were where saying they're showing that Sony was behind it. But when it came to Avowed, when it came to Indiana Jones, okay, to Machine Game, to Doom, nah, Jack. Xbox wasn't mentioned. Microsoft Studios was not mentioned. So I'm like, yo. And so the first thing I went to is because it was like, okay, I've got to go to the action game, right? Like, because I mean, we all know that Microsoft published Ninja Gaiden 4. Well, they at least did have that there. And I was like, okay. Which I think that Ninja Gaiden should be okay, hold on, look at this, like, all right, boom. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna keep that paused right there so people can see that achievement and how few people beat that level at the time when I played that game. Okay, anyway, but that is diabolical. Bro, that is diabolical. Because the fact that PlayStation got named through everything, even though it wasn't first party, these are Xbox own these companies. They own them. And they separated them as though those were their own entities and that Microsoft didn't own any of it. So that's why when you look at, they say they only got 5 nominations. And also, like, that was also shitty too. Like, why you couldn't just split? Why did you have to split Electronic Arts and Microsoft and saying that they got 10 nominations instead of just saying, hey, they got, one got 5, one got 5, the other one got 5. But no, they 19, Jack. Sony got 19 nominations with 3 games. I seen somebody in the chat sit there and tell me they only released 3 games this year. 3 first party games. Or, I can't no more. I can't no more. Like I said, I've been done with believing into the taking in the VGAs as being taken seriously for a long time. For a while. I can agree with some of the games that win Game of the Year, but these nominations, listen, man, listen. I don't know. Now, you know what's going to piss off a lot of people? Well, it may not piss off a lot of people. But you know what's going to be highway robbery if this happens, and I hope it does? It's going to be delicious if it does. Death Stranding only wins one category, but you know it probably won't. But Expedition 33 cleans up and wins Game of the Year. Oh my goodness. It will be absolutely delicious. I mean, we already know Nintendo's going to win. Going to win Family Game because they always do, and Donkey Kong's going to win. I don't. I would think it would if Donkey Kong won, it would be crazy. Anyway, like we'll talk about that tomorrow. But 19 nominations, Jack. I don't. Right. He said baby steps, brother. Yeah. Exactly, Husky Hakage. Xbox heavily funded Expedition 33. I mean, how people got their hands on it for the most part was because of Game Pass. I mean, even PC people, you go to Reddit, they're like, man, this game looks so great, but and then when people got to play it, then they went to hell and bought it, like on PC. But when people played Microsoft helped funded that game. The people the people who made the game sit there and even said that, right? Like, but that's fine that they ain't gonna give Xbox credit for that or whatever. I get it. That's fine. But are you kidding me? Big Mamo, he said, which went on all platforms. He says they also funded. Yeah, I got you. Thank you, Sekiro King, Cypher. He said, yeah, I knew that Xbox helped funded for Xbox 3. I mean, hell, it was on Game Pass. It's a joke. Yeah, he's like, I don't know, man. Big Memo said K-Mega, there are frauds when it comes to COD and also frauds when it comes to the Xbox at the Game Award. Bro, I saw that and I'm like, because when I saw it, it was like Xbox only got 5 nominations. I'm like, what is going on? And see, I didn't get to see the categories yet. And I was in the GRG DMs and I was sitting here saying like, I mean, because I was like, man, I ain't seen anything from Indiana Jones, and that's another thing too, right? And that's another thing too as well. Indiana Jones getting snubbed. The only thing that Indiana Jones is getting love for is because of Troy Baker's voice acting and not the game itself. We'll break that down more tomorrow. I don't know, man. 19 nominations for 3 games, or really basic. And at this point, they want you to love Death Stranding so bad that it almost makes me not want to like the game. And I'm not here to sit there and tell you that you shouldn't, or that I got the game. I'll definitely get number 2. I have not beat it, so I won't. I played a few hours. I think I played about maybe 5 to 10 hours, somewhere around there. I know about 5 or 6 for sure. And I don't have a problem with the game. It's just that it's a slow burn, and that I got to be in the mood to deal with a slow burning game. So I'm like, and for like Ham Solo and them, that was like, oh, I love it, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to really give it a shot at some point, at some moment. And then looking at Death Stranding 2, it looks cool. I'm not trying to dog it, but the way that they try to force you to like this game, to put it in your face so much, especially at the Game Awards, like, bro, we get it. That's your homeboy. We know that you want it's Kojima. I get it, but my God, there are so many other games that should get the same type of love, and you don't do it for them. You don't. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, let me get back to the gameplay. I just wanted to let y'all see 0.9%. That's disgusting. Anyway, he says, I don't look at the so-called Game Awards to buy it. It's to buy it. Oh yeah, you don't check it. I know. I check it out because of the stuff that the new games that they show. It's a good product to watch. It's just that like the categories it's just weird to me, man. Like I don't get it. What I'm saying? She's Curie, you said I said this earlier on Boom Show. Yeah. It's not, it's crazy. He's like, Big Man Mo said Xbox got 10 and EA got 10. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But they only gave them 5. They only gave them 10 at the most. When like, and this is the stuff where you get the PlayStation stands to and the people and the Xbox haters to sit here and to have something to talk shit about because of the fact that it's like they're like all these Xbox games. And Xbox has only 5 nominations. Like they don't get no game of the years. But even though they've helped fund one of the game that should be the game of the year, in my opinion. But regardless, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. I that is just mind blowing to me. You said I knew something was off when South of Midnight was not nominated for Best Music, bro. That's a crime. That is an absolute crime. And art direction. How can anybody play South of Midnight and not have it be nominated for art direction? And then what's really shitty? What's really shitty? Okay, so hear me out. Ghost of Yotai. Or Yote, however you want to pronounce it, has all these nominations, which is fine. I'm not going to knock it at all. Like I said, I want that game to succeed more than anything because of the fact that the grifters always wanted to talk shit about that game, right? Matter of fact, I even voted for the. You know, well, did I change it? I might change it. But anyway, I was conflicted because I wanted Troy Baker to win it for Indiana Jones because like Indiana Jones not getting any representation is crazy. But also was like, so I think I voted for the woman that's the lead for Ghost of Yote. Just because I just want to, I just want them to stick it to those haters like that. So I think I voted for her. But if I didn't and pick Troy Baker, I'm going to switch it tomorrow when we go look at the stuff. And so anyway, I have no problem with Ghost of Yote getting nominated. I mean, Game of the Year. Wow. Okay, that's cool. But there's only one bit of representation for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is basically the same game. Weapons, abilities, skills, story in some cases, and I mean, they got the storylines is different, but what? And then what really was gross is that they put South of Midnight against Assassin's Creed Shadows, which to the point that Assassin's Creed Shadows South of Midnight in that category because I forgot what the other games were, but neither one of them are going to win that category. It is awful. I you know, saying the fact that South of Midnight is not getting the representation that it should get. It should be up for like four or 5 awards easily, and it's not. And listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I know that there was people that was clowning me saying, Call of Duty wasn't in the best multiplayer game. Listen, there's only one game that's gonna win multiplayer of the year, and that's gonna be Arc Raiders. I'm sorry, Battlefield, you know, new Battlefield fans. It ain't happening. Arc Raiders is going to be the standard. And if we really want to be honest, if we really want to get controversial here, Arc Raiders should be up there for Game of the Year and something should be out. Let's keep that a buck. Let's keep that for real. Arc Raiders should be up there for Game of the Year. What should be taken out? I don't know. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm just saying. Curie said instead of music, it got Impact and some other stuff. It said Husky said I knew something was off when South. Oh yeah, we just sit there and read that. He said it's crazy that Death Stranding 2 will be on Xbox next year. Right. And don't get me started with the continuing game and Sea of Thieves and Grounded still get ignored. I don't know, bro. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Like Sea of Thieves is still going strong. Grounded is still doing well. And they and I'm not saying that either one of them have to win, but no recognition? Whoa. Yeah, and that's exactly right, Husky. Impact is cool, but it was robbed of music and art. How is it not nominated for art and music? One of the music in South of Midnight is absolutely beautiful. Just like in it's absolutely will it win? Probably not if it was in there, but it should be. So somebody can look at that and say, huh, that's interesting. This South of Midnight is being nominated for quite a few things. I need to check that out. I mean, because that's really one of the reasons why you have these nominations there for gamers to pay attention to, because there's games that they may not even think about, but like, hey, hold up, this South of Midnight, huh? Music, art, not give them any. I'm so through with them and their categories, or just with who they put in. It is so. I don't know. It's frustrating. What up with you, Yobi? He says no. He says this. He says this is his. I'm just done. He said, he talking about Keighley. I mean, Jeff Keighley and Kojima. He said the game. Curie said the Game Awards are just further reminder that the media is so disconnected from the gamers. Nobody remembers Death Stranding 2. We don't see nobody talking about Death Stranding 2 no more. And that's no disrespect to the game. It's just not. It's that game is just not for everybody. That game is so wild. Like and like I said, I'm gonna eventually beat the first game, so I'm not gonna talk bad about the game. But they did all this bragging about the first game, and then it didn't sell well. Kojima got pissed off and said that Americans, the West, only cares about guns. And then next thing you know, he gets pushed back, and then all of a sudden he puts pews in the damn game. Right? Like, so what are we doing here? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, and I'm sure that there's heat, you know what I'm saying, inside of Death Stranding 2. And that's fine. I'm just saying, like, and not everybody's going to get involved into all that stuff. And I'm not saying that Kojima's is not a genius into what he does and stuff like that. I'm just saying though, the video game awards push Kojima stuff so crazy, and I'm just like, bro, it's wild. It's wild. And they are very disconnected. Like I said, like some of the biggest games that are supported in this industry do not get, like NBA 2K and Madden and them. They're some of the best selling games that help the industry stay alive. What are you doing? Acknowledge a sports game. We got a time where we got some good racers. No, just ain't doing it. So anyway. He said, I agree, it was robbed. It's more estimating why it got robbed. But yeah, it is very disconnected. It's very corporate oriented, like, you know, I mean, because really, if we really want to be honest about stuff, like there should be more PC game representation. Like, I mean, it's not a game that I care about like that, but that what is it, Duck Off game? That game is blowing up. It's only on PC. It's a game. It's a top-down shooter game where you're a penguin or a duck or some shit, and you killing other. It's wild. It's wild. But that game is so damn popular, right? Like, so. Anyway, if you have to, and that game is very popular. We're talking about doing crazy numbers, just like Baldur's Gate 3 was doing. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. It is. Sometimes they are so out of touch, but I got to watch it for what it is. Okay, so Second Row Cypher says, Mega, the general audience is low key dominated by I ain't gonna say it. That's political, but I agree. He says even the ones who claim to like us So they quietly don't talk about it and laugh about it on Facebook. No, I totally agree with you, Cypher. It is a lot of that. Um, I Big Mamo said I picked Jennifer from Expedition 33. Like that's what I'm saying. Like music, I'm not, as much as I love the music in South of Midnight, I will not be mad if the music from Expedition 33 wins, right? Like the music in Expedition 33 was absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, I'm not into no opera or nothing like that, but that shit is beautiful. Beautiful. Like that's just my game of the year. That's just it. Nothing is touching that. Expedition, I knew when the first time I seen it, I said, oh, that has potential to be something special. And when you get into it and you play that gym, like, bro, they should rake up. They should rake. No, Kojima's gonna win something. He ain't gonna be there for nothing. He's gonna win something. But no, and I know that, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, there'll be Nintendo fans that's gonna say, and because I've heard really good things about Donkey Kong, but man, Expedition 33 just what it's done. It took a narrative that was looked at. It took a narrative, and well, I wouldn't say a narrative. It was a narrative, but a negative narrative about JRPGs, or I should say not JRPG because it's not a JRPG. It took a negative narrative about turn-based games, and for what the media has said for years, that gamers don't like that. That it's too, you know what I'm saying? We want more action and we want more this and we want more that. And made and prove to gamers out there, if you do the game right, if you give out a story that gamers can get invested into, it doesn't matter if you're doing live action or if you're doing turn-based. Because what Expedition 33 did was make people that didn't like turn-based play it. And then they came to like it. Now, they might not like every turn-based game, but again, it took away from what, like, you know, from what a lot of traditional people, gamers that like JRPGs and stuff like that is like, man, okay, that's fine to have the action stuff, but why can't we have turn-based? And it set a tone that's like, yeah, no, a lot of people in the gaming media are tone deaf. And they because they don't like it, then that means that you shouldn't like it too, because they're a journalist and that they think they know better than the gaming community. That's what Expedition 33. I love when games do that. That set a standard that blows things up. Like for the gaming media that hates online games, and then when Overwatch won, then the gaming media made sure that none of those games were even going to be nominated again. You're not going to do that, right? So it's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, the media bias in Sony's favor for sure. There's no question. While giving Nintendo one a token, yes, it is. Games, but they're not considered PlayStation games. Listen, Jay Slayer. Nobody said that these games were. I mean, that it's listed in the categories that Sony had something to do with either publishing or, you know, that they had some kind of works to do with those games. Like, they made sure that Microsoft didn't get that same luxury. So that to me is the problem. So if you want to sit here and say for everything that they got in there listed, it's listed in there, but Microsoft didn't get listed every game in there. Like the whole Bethesda machine games, all that they didn't list Xbox or Microsoft. They just listed, like, Bethesda was its own entity that they didn't get money from Microsoft to help make those games. That's the stuff right there that's crazy. Anyway, if you really want to be honest, Dispatch should be up for Game of the Year. Now, I have not played Dispatch. Dispatch looked really good. Hell, I'm surprised that they didn't make that a Sony game, because it's because it's only a PC and Sony game right now. So yeah. Sony Omniplex, it doesn't get counted because they're not under the same umbrella the way Microsoft Games has all the publishers under it. Different division entirely. So I don't know. Impact and accessibility, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, ESO. That's right. That's right. I forgot about ESO. It is. You're absolutely right. ESO should definitely be in there as well. It is astounding to me how blatant they are, and I don't know. I mean, at some point, at some things, I just wouldn't want to be nice about. Like, get the hell out of here. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Dion Hayes, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you coming through. He said it only got nominated at the BET Awards, but not at the Game Awards. I find that kind of funny. What? Oh, man. Wow. It says Arc Raiders got Big Memo. Arc Raiders got a 4 out of 10 from Eurogamer. Yeah, well, look at what's going on with Arc Raiders is going to win best multiplayer of the year, hands down. I don't think the numbers is even going to be close. It's not even going to be close. I don't think. I just think Arc Raiders is going to clean up. Anything Arc Raiders is in, I think it's going to clean up. I don't know. We'll go over it tomorrow. Let's see what time. How much time I got here? Okay, we're about to get out of here. Let's see. Yeah, FC and Rematch got nominated in the sports, bro. We'll talk about it tomorrow, man. I know, man. It's wild times. Anyway, Dion Hayes says now that Kojima is done with Death Stranding, we could look forward to the second game the next year or 27. Now the scary game looks dope. I mean, and that's good. That's fine. But here we go again. Like, they're going to force the game on you, right? Like, I have never seen anything like it. Where anytime that one particular, and if I was a developer, I would be pretty pissed off. Now, the other guy the other dude that made Split, it's not Split Second, Split Time or something like that. That made the one game where you played as the two people running out of getting out of prison. That developer, he's on Jeff Keighley's happy list, so you see him, but like. You don't. It's awkward. It's not even. You know what I'm saying? It became. You know what I'm saying? A joking point, and now it's awkward. And it's just awkward. I've never seen anything like it. So OD will get all the love and Split Fiction. Thank you. It's gonna get all the love and praise and all this and that, and it looks dope. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm not trying. Like I said, I'm not trying to dog out Kojima. I'm just not. I'm just saying it is very weird to put this man at such a high status. I mean, because really, honestly, let me make this point. You would think that Jeff Keighley would do this for the creators of Grand Theft Auto, right? He would do it with. He don't even do that with the people who make oh my God, well, I can't think of their name right now. Naughty Dog. He doesn't do that with Naughty Dog. I mean, he'll get up there and he'll brag about Naughty Dog. He don't do. Man, it is very, very weird to me. I don't know. So it is what it is. When OD launches, Xbox will be nominated for Game of the Year. So I'll wait. No, it won't. It will be nominated. Oh, it's going to be nominated. But for some reason, in some way, shape, or form, I promise you, Sony's going to have, it's going to be something about, they ain't going to, man, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be delicious if it does, but for some reason, hell, they don't even sit here and put Xbox games, Microsoft or Xbox name under studios that Microsoft Xbox own. They'll find a way to sneak out of this some way, shape, or form to where OD might be up for Game of the Year, but somehow it's gonna be PlayStation that gets some credit or some shit, or it won't be. It'll just be Kojima Productions, bro. That's what's crazy. Yes, it will be Kojima Productions, and Microsoft's name won't be nowhere in there, even though the Xbox is the publisher. Mark my words. They'll put a small Microsoft logo, brother. They won't even put the logo on there. They did it to the other games just this year. So anyway. All right, guys, we're gonna have fun with it tomorrow. We're gonna go through and go through each category, and then we'll discuss it and have fun with that. If there's any other hot news that's going to be dropping tomorrow, I'll throw that one in, and then just save anything else that's dropping for Thursday. But yeah, like I said, you'll see me all this week. Maybe not Saturday. Well, if that's the case, I'll do some early Saturday. So like I said, I'm gonna try to be consistent with this every day. So every day this week we coming in. Every day this week. I took the break yesterday, and I'm like, all right, we're ready to go. We're gonna see how this is. We're gonna see how this works. So all right, guys, I will see you tomorrow around the same time. Around 2:30. 2:33. And, hopefully you guys will come up here and check me out again. If you're new to the channel, man, you like the stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That is free. And if not, hit that like button, hit the dislike button. Give me your comments for people who check it out later. It helps out with the algorithm. We're trying to get this algorithm thing going for the first time ever. See if this shit works. I don't know. But anyway, I still we're going to have fun with it. So as always, read like 3 more comments and then we're gonna get out of here. He said, hell, Microsoft doesn't even put the logo on a PlayStation port. Yeah, right. You're right about that. So you're right. Sea of Thieves and Forza has the Xbox logo. Oh, they do? Okay. All right. That's good stuff. Okay, so hopefully they got out of there. He says, don't forget to check the DM. Okay, I will. I'll check it out. I will holler at you guys. Oh, I guess you want me to check it out now, right? Hold on. Okay, he says this is what I was referencing. I'm surprised you didn't catch the reference. Oh, you can't. Oh, damn! You went back to the crap going after Phil Spencer. God dang, boy, man, that was a bad moment for my boy, man. Well, yeah, got to do better. Got to do better. Now you're over here accepting anything and everything that PlayStation is telling them. Boy, that's crazy hell to me. Anyway, so I didn't know. I should have got the reference, but that was on me because I was just like, come on, man, stop it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a good one. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe. Go ahead, share it out. Share the content out, man. Help a brother out. All right, peace. Everybody have a good one.